Today on Fashion Guide, we'll talk about the most spectacular, unusual, and striking headwear. A piece of advice from our style expert. A daring show by Russian designer Konstantin Gaidai, and a new collection of fantasy accessories from Kazakh brand Yirlian. Also, a new Burberry fashion show, new variations on the famous trench coat. Watch it all right now. They can be small or big, classic and exquisite, or eccentric and wild. One way or the other, those who wear them definitely stand out. It's all about the hat. Asil Zoe is not just the founder of the largest accessory showroom and editor-in-chief of a fashion magazine, she's also an expert in hats. That's the title that we here at Fashion Guide have given her, and we believe it's well-deserved. In summer, hats are not sported by urban residents that often, but Asil remains an ardent advocate for headwear. Headwear is first and foremost a mental outlook. It reflects a special internal harmony, the freedom to let yourself be different from others, because the tradition is long gone. Unfortunately, not many people, men or women, wear these beautiful hats nowadays. Asil, I think you'd agree with me if I said that the world of headwear is fabulously diverse and that hats are never too much. Would you please tell us what are the trendiest pieces today? Women who know the charm and magic appeal of hats are always willing to buy more and more of them. This season, I'm happy to introduce you to the famous Italian headwear company Borsalino, which has been making fedora hats since the 19th century. Borsalino is now a household name for these hats. A fedora has a classic shape, 3 bends, middle crown height, and ribbons of various colors around the crown. The fedora is undoubtedly the eternal classic. Various ribbon colors give it a different effect. They might turn the hat into evening or daytime headwear. In summer, a wide-brimmed Panama hat is always in fashion. In fact, a hat is a soloing element. It is not an accessory, it's a main theme, so you have to choose wisely. It is desirable to have at least matching colors. Or if it's a canary color like this, then it could be accompanied by an accessory, a brooch, a clutch, or footwear for the hat to be in harmony with the entire look. Asil Zoe is often seen wearing hats. In photos from social events, she sports exotic headwear, which does not go unnoticed. Her fashionable evening top hats, opera hats, and pillbox hats are always decorated with colorful elements. This season, designers who we cooperate with are working a lot with feathers. Peacock and crow feathers, and colorful feathers of various exotic birds. Asil Zoe's brand, Inspiration, is the only Kazakh brand that collaborates with the famous hatter Konstantin Gaidai. These unusually shaped headbands, feathers, sparkles, and lace are his work. This is what trendy headwear looks like. What I like about the Gaidai brand can be divided into 2 segments. The first one is that we can wear them every day. It's headbands, tiaras for various occasions like weddings. The second one is all haute couture headwear. Spectacular, absolutely crazy, and totally beautiful. Among his favorite customers is Renata Litvinova, who likes to add some audacious to her style and wears them in public. We'll talk more about Konstantin Gaidai later on. Meanwhile, a couple of words in favor of these amazing accessories. It's a pleasure to wear. It's like you're always seen. You always stand out in the crowd, get compliments, and allow yourself to be who you want to be. The world-famous Russian designer Konstantin Gaidai, known for his audacious and unorthodox clothing, has his new headwear collection on show in Almaty. Daring designs, eclectic fabrics, and unusual ornamental elements, all these distinctive features of his style resonated with the Kazakh fashionable crowd. We've brought an abridged mix from my last 3 collections here, as most of the pieces from these collections are sold out, and we might never see them again.
никогда мы их больше не увидим.
And it is something to see. Each piece is in fact an art object. You can't call them hats. You'll see helmets, crowns, and wreaths. The sophisticated jewelry is made of pearls, sparkles, natural stones, and feathers. You feel like you're at the Brazilian Carnival, with models as the Carnival queens. All of my headwear is handcrafted. It's not like it's 70% handmade as they do in haute couture. They're 100% handcrafted by me and no one else. Konstantin knows that not everyone would wear such spectacular structures on their heads. No big deal, once his hats fall under the category of artworks which are in high demand. They're bought like art objects for interior decoration, on a dummy head. This is beauty for the sake of beauty, so everything is all right. It's okay if it's profitable and all that. Konstantin Gaidai is always ready to surprise the public, showing that fashion is an art form too. He has successfully occupied a unique niche in the fashion world. Audacious hats are being made in Kazakhstan too. Irina Vassilieva and Yelena Havanskaya are among those few who make headwear as close to high fashion as can be. They have original ideas and use unconventional materials. We have prêt-à-porter hats and we have crazy hats. We set no limits while making them. We do what we want. Crazy Hats is a well-deserved name for Irina's headwear. The designer put together a show of a mix of 3 collections at a jazz-themed social event. Fashion and music lovers did justice to these works of decorative and applied arts. This is the last headwear. It has a felt base, velour, formoplast, and pearls. We use all kinds of materials, just everything. Fabric and plastic flowers, jewelry and different fixtures. Irina and Yelena's brand, Yirlin, is 8 years old now. For the last 3 years, they've been making hats. Over this time, the duo took part in numerous headwear exhibitions in Moscow, where the designers have many admirers. Just recently, the Yirlin designers returned from Moscow with a new hat-making technique. This material is called sinome. It's made of plant fiber like a net. They can be of different colors. You have to shape this net, and then you can make flowers or bases out of it. Many interesting things. Looking at their work, you wonder where design ends and where art begins. As if you could separate one from the other. Fashion is definitely an art form. Fashion is a cultural thing. You have to develop it. No country exists without this culture. The designers work with hats and theatrical costumes. They've created special looks for the 10th anniversary of Artichoke Theater. Now they plan to start a collaboration with jewelry houses to make their hats even more exquisite and unique. Summer is the time to hide under the brims of your hat and to show off your unconventional outfit. This week's most important show is Burberry Menswear Spring-Summer 2016 show in London. The fashion critics called it a breath of fresh air. The show indeed took place outdoors under a transparent tent in Kensington Gardens. The guests of the show were met by peacocks walking on the garden lawns. Animal, giraffe, and zebra prints could be seen on the models' shirts. The animal aggressiveness was mitigated by lacework tenderness. The fashion house, famous for its austere trench coats, launched an experiment this year.
Yeah, we wanted the collection to have a real formality and tradition, but we also wanted the poetry as well. And we tried to do it through everything from the mixing of fabrics. So we put lace in there for poetry, which is unconventional, but I liked what it did. we've got such a tradition in this country of lace making, and I liked the idea of putting it with these very, very formal suits to just knock it off.
The designer introduced several pieces of clothing in patchwork style. The menswear show was held along with the women's wear collection. The collections are a perfect match. Feminine lacework motifs that unexpectedly were included in the menswear collection give the overall Burberry collection an absolutely unusual tender quality. It seems like this year the fashion house is to reject brutal looks in favor of more feminine ones. And that's all for today. Don't miss our next exciting venture into the world of fashion, style, and beauty with Fashion Guide.